What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got my dude Rayo Valenzuela in the news. Speaking on the fight with Gary Antoine Russell. Once again, shout out to Gary Antoine Russell. What a magnificent performance that was, man. That was just a magnificent performance. But Rayo said, he's made some claims that he's not he wasn't allowed to have a rematch clause. It was just this one and done fight. And it was either pretty much you fight Gary Antoine Russell or you'll be sitting on the shelf. And I'm gonna go ahead and get into the article, and then I'm gonna go ahead and speak my mind on it because I've heard stuff like this before. I'm gonna go ahead and speak my mind on it though afterwards. So y'all stay tuned. All right, so shout out to Boxing News 24. Says forced fight, no recourse. Okay, no recourse. Robert Garcia reveals Jose Valenzuela's lack of rematch clause in the title loss to Russell. Okay, and again, for you guys that haven't seen the interview, I believe it might be with Fight Hype. I don't know. Go check that interview out. I kind of want to I want to limit the amount of stuff that I the posts that I take from other people's interviews. I kind of want to just limit that. I know I just did a video about Keith Thurman speaking on Shakur. I did that, but I don't want to do that too often. So I advise you guys to go watch the video. But it says Jose Rayo, I've always called him Rayo, so I'm just gonna say Rayo. Rayo's trainer Robert Garcia says he didn't have a rematch clause for his voluntary title defense of his IBF light welterweight belt against Gary Antoine Russell last Saturday night at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Rayo lost the fight by a wide 12-round unanimous decision by the scorecards of 119 to 109. And for y'all that don't know what that means, 119 to 109, that's 11 rounds to 1. So two scorecards had it 119 to 109, and one had it 120 to 108. So that's 12 rounds to zip. It says Robert Garcia states that Valenzuela, who now has the record of 14-3 with 9 knockouts, said he was told that he couldn't have a rematch clause for the fight. He had no choice but to accept the fight with Russell without a rematch clause. It was him or nobody. Robert says that Rayo told him that Russell was the only fight that was going to be offered to him, saying it's him or nobody else. In hindsight, Valenzuela shouldn't have taken the fight with Russell unless the money was out of this world good. It was one of those nights where it just wasn't his nights. He couldn't get up, he couldn't let go, and couldn't get off. No excuses. Russell came in a beast mode. I guess it meant just came in on beast mode or whatever. Kept going, kept throwing punches, didn't let Rayo adjust, said trainer Garcia to YSM. That's who it was. YSM Sports. It wasn't Fight Hype. It was YSM Sports Media. So make sure y'all go check them out. Reflecting on his fighter, former IBF light welterweight champion, Rayo lost to Gary Russell last Saturday night. He didn't let Rayo figure him out. Gary Antoine Russell kept coming from round 1 until the end. Robert continued how he never stopped throwing punches and never stopped doing his job. The movement that Valenzuela had used so well in his wins over Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Chris Colbert wasn't there last Saturday against Russell. However, with the way that he was cutting off the ring and countering and dominating from the outside, it probably wouldn't have mattered if Rayo had moved more. I don't think so. I think honestly, that style was just bad for Rayo. But anyways, no rehydration clause. When Rayo got that fight, this is what Robert Garcia had to say. When Rayo got that fight, we told him, why that fight, Rayo? The Russells have always been great fighters, always win by knockouts. It could have been somebody else, and they told me it's him or nobody else. He said they forced him to fight him. Then he said they didn't even let me get a rematch clause. You're the champion. It's your voluntary title defense. He should be allowed a rematch clause. Everybody does. Pitbull had a rematch clause with Rayo. He told us I'm not allowed to get a rematch clause. He signed the contract. There's nothing we can do now. He should have at least had a rematch clause in the contract, but they told him, nope, there's no rematch clause. Now there's nothing we can do. Bounce back and come back. Maybe start all over again, said Garcia about Rayo Valenzuela. All right, so let's go ahead and speak on this, man. All right, so let's talk about it, man. First and foremost, man, shout out to Rayo. That's been my guy since I first met Rayo in 2022. So that's been my guy. Love him to death, man. Wish him all the best. I definitely feel like Rayo should be. I feel like he should be 15 and 2 instead of 14 and 3, because I definitely feel like he won that fight against Chris Colbert. No doubt in my mind, he should have won that fight. I don't know what the judges were thinking, and it seems like, with that being said, it seems like Rayo's just been having a hard time with the PBC. Now, I definitely feel like that's not right. I don't like that idea. And this is by no chance is this any slack to Gary Antoine Russell. Y'all know how I feel about Gary Antoine Russell. That's been my favorite fighter, or one of my favorite fighters at 140. I'm a huge supporter of Gary Antoine Russell. Beautiful job. So everything I say has nothing to do with Gary Antoine Russell, but I do feel like, man, that's kind of crazy, man, because it's like, bro, like, dude, I'm the champ, bro. Like, what kind of stuff is that? Like, how y'all gonna tell me I don't have an opportunity to fight for my title again if I lose it? I mean, bro, what's his name? Isaac Cruz. The only reason why they didn't do the rematch with Rayo and Isaac Cruz is because Isaac Cruz elected not to. That was his own fault. And what's crazy, man, is it's crazy how the WBA belt has been just. Oh, is it the W? No, I'm sorry, the IBF. The IBF title has just. No, wait. Was it the IBF or was it the WBA? Nah, it was the WBA. But didn't he fight? I think Gary Antoine fought for the IBF title or the WB. One of them. Anyway, either way it goes. It's been crazy. The WBA has been passed around like a hot potato. Like, who had it first? I can't think of who had it first, but then Rolly fought for the vacant title, won that, then lost to Isaac Cruz, who then lost to Rayo Valenzuela, who then lost to Gary Antoine Russell. But I think Gary Antoine Russell will protect that baby for a little minute. But anyways, I always feel like as a champion, you deserve to have a rematch clause. You deserve to be able to fight for your title again or whatnot. Now, with that being said, I will say this here. Whether he had a rematch clause or a double rematch clause, which is not heard of, or, which is not possible, I don't think Rayo would have beaten Gary Russell. I don't think he would beat Gary Russell whether he had another opportunity or not. I don't see Rayo making the adjustments to beat Gary Antoine Russell. And I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, well, Gary wasn't able to knock him out." Not a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people say this, but I saw some say, "Well, Gary wasn't able to knock Rayo out, but De Los Santos was." But I'm gonna tell you this: while that might be true, shout out to Rayo for having a good chin and good heart and being durable. While that might be true, I'm gonna tell you this right here: Rayo. This fight right here with Gary Antoine Russell did more damage to Rayo than that knockout with Edwin De Los Santos. I can promise you that. And I'm not saying that with any ill will towards Rayo, because that's my guy. But I'm telling you that this punishment he took was worse or more damaging to him than what Edwin De Los Santos did. But shout out to Rayo for having the heart and the dog to just get through the fight or whatnot. But I don't think Rayo, rematch clause or not, I just don't think he would be able to beat Gary Antoine Russell. Dude is just too relentless. Gary Antoine Russell is he's not like Sean Porter, but to me he's almost like a better version. To me, he's a better version of Sean Porter because he has an aggressive style, but he's aggressive with boxing. I think it's beautiful. The only thing I would have to say is I would love for him to. It seems like Antoine uses his jab as more of a decoy and a range, to cut the range in half and more of a decoy. But I would love him to have more snap with that. But hey, bro, if this got you a world title, bro, if it ain't broke, don't break it. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that. But as far as Rayo, I don't know where Rayo goes from here. I don't think that he should fight Antoine again. I think that would be really detrimental to his career. I think he needs to build himself, just fight a few no names or whatnot, bro. Get, not just one, fight about two no names or whatnot. Get yourself back in, you know, your back in rhythm or whatnot, and then, you know, possibly fight for a title, or maybe not even a title. Don't fight Antoine though. Like, that's just mine. I'm not being funny when I say that. I just think stylistically that's a terrible matchup for Rayo. But, you know, just get yourself back in order. It's not too late. He's young. He can, you know, it's not too late at all, bro. He's young. Just build yourself back up, man. No issues about that at all. It just seems like an unfortunate situation though. I mean, like the situation with Chris Colbert, where he was clearly robbed on that fight. That was a robbery. I think people use that term too loosely. The term robbery, I think they use it too loosely, but that was clearly a robbery. You know, and that now, you know, not being able to pretty much, and it sounds like they would have avoided Gary Antoine Russell, which, you know, that is definitely a high risk, low reward type fight, and, you know, he took it, you know, so. Excuse me, it is what it is, man. He just that just sucks, man. But, you know, that's how boxing is, man. I remember Top Rank had shelved Mikey Garcia for almost 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people do this, so it's kind of like, man, it's like, damn, do I not fight this dude, or do I just sit out? You know, and I think he did the right thing by fighting Gary Antoine rather than just sitting out. You know, they ain't no telling how long they would have had him out. So, you know, but, you know, just bounce back. You know, he'll probably be looking for a different promotional company, and I can't blame him. I urge everybody to get off the PBC because they're too inactive. But anyways, man, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. What do you think, Gary? What do you think Rayo should do next? Do you think he should move to 135? I'm not a fan of fighters moving back down in weight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of that, but, you know, where does he go? Because 140 is a tough division. But what do I know?